Hey guys, GNT here, and today I want to do a quick review of One Piece Burning Blood. For some odd reason, I want to say Naruto. Um, I'm assuming that's because I kind of feel similar between the two games. Earlier, I did a Naruto review back when that game was new, and goodness, you don't exactly run into the exact same issues with this game that you did with that one. But a couple of things are similar. Like, sorry about that. In this game, the story mode is really lacking compared to the Naruto game, which I don't really want to make comparisons to that game because that game was awful. The last Naruto game that came out. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Story mode in that game was done right. It was one of the only things that was done right. But in this game, you cover one arc with 4 characters that, besides Ace, aren't too great. Or at least the way that they make you play through with them, it's not amazing, But moving on from that, because that's literally all you got to say about the story mode. Well, let me get into the actual matches inside the story mode. First off, one thing that's really good about this is the integration of the cutscenes in the story mode. Like when you do a fight, you come out of that fight into a cutscene, or you go from a cutscene into a fight. It's really cool. But as far as content for the story mode, it's not that much. I mean, like I said, it's one arc played through with multiple characters. So it's not like you're actually getting a vast amount of story or differences between them besides the way the characters play. The story is pretty much the same because it's the same arc. You know what I mean? I understand different points of view and whatnot, but it's still going to end the same way, it still starts the same way, and it still progresses the same way, It's not like you can change how the outcome will be. My goodness, I wish I could. I miss Ace. But you're stuck with just that as your story, which I didn't know coming into the game, or else I probably wouldn't have got it. But that's just the one mode, and it's Paramount War mode, and it's okay. Then you have the Wanted Versus mode, which is a kind of interesting mode for the first, I'd say 5 times you do it, because after 5 times it kind of gets repetitive, just like everything else in this game, because you're taking on wanted posters, right, for special, quote-unquote special matches. And from what I've played, the matches aren't even really that tough. Some of them can be, but for the most part, it's not that big of a deal. And you get, extra reward cash to unlock things in the pirate base, which I'll move on to next. Pirate base. That's where you unlock your characters, both regular battle characters and your support characters. Also in there you can create a pirate crew, which is basically presets for when you go into online matches. So instead of you just having to reselect every time, you can just select your pirate crew. For goodness, I'm screwing up. Pirate crew to go into battle instead of individually selecting everything every single time you go into a fight. Which, by the way, if you're playing online, won't be that often because matchmaking makes it few and far between with you having actual matches. You're going to sit through matchmaking for a while, and then you're going to get one fight. Then you're going to sit for quite some time again, and they're going to tell you it's failed a couple of times. And goodness, the wait is awful. It's like I waited all this time for you to tell me that the matchmaking failed. I don't know if the game's screwed up right now with matchmaking, or nobody bought the game, or maybe it's just me. I don't know. But it's odd. You shouldn't have to sit through all this matchmaking and then not get a match, you know? It's horrible. Goodness. Anyway, if we ignore all that, because those are most of my negative points. Ooh. Wait a second. I've got something else that I almost forgot to go over, because I was going to get into the positives. By the way, everything that I'm talking about is pretty much a negative. The pirate flag battle. Oh my goodness. Oh my damn. The pirate flag battle mode. I don't even see a point to it, to be honest. Like, it's supposed to be a mode where you go in and you play on different maps and stages and whatnot with different characters, and you're supposed to keep gathering points in this mode and make your flag dominate the entire map, or as much of the map as you can, within the amount of time that they have the seasons, because this is chopped up in seasons, which is basically the week. Within the week, you're supposed to take over as much as possible. But the thing is, inside of this mode, you have versus computer fights versus raid, which is basically the same thing, except the raid I think is a bit tougher, or at least it was when I played it. And you have versus human. By the way, versus human never works because the matchmaking never picks you up against anyone. You know, it's awful. That mode is a throwaway mode. It doesn't seem to have a point, basically. Like, if I want to fight people, I can go to the online mode. Like, if this was well integrated with the online mode, where whenever you try to do a rank match or whatever, well, whenever you try to do a versus human match, it was like a rank match instead of them searching for people, which I'm assuming that it does this. Searching for people that are actually in pirate flag battle, which, like, nobody's in there. I'm assuming, because I never got a match. And I tried multiple times to get a match with a human, never got one. So, if it was integrated with the online, like, whenever you decided you wanted to play ranked matches, or heck, you could set it to player matches or something, and then it searches in there instead of searching separately, which I'm just making an assumption. I don't know if it's searching separately, but you don't find anybody. At least with the online, after I failed looking for someone like 3 times, I'd find one person and then have to wait 3 more times. Oh goodness. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the negatives of this game. Now, here we go. Positives. There are like 42 characters if you just have the base game. Let me make sure that I've got that right. Yeah, 42 characters. And if you have the DLC, you get, oh my goodness. I didn't even realize it was that many people till I looked at it. You get 18 people with the DLCs, which they do have more blank spaces. So I'm assuming there'll be more DLC characters. There's 6 blank spaces, unless I think there's like another way to get another DLC character that I don't have, and that would take up one of the spaces. So probably 5 of them are blank and not actually 6. But your base roster is 42, unless I counted that wrong. I've done it before, but unless I counted that wrong, it's 42. And they're, I want to say, quite unique. You know, the characters are fundamentally different. You know, it's kind of odd. Usually in fighters and stuff, I mean, this is an anime fighter, and anime fighters, they have to make characters fight like they would in their series. But for this game, they take that to a whole new level. All the unique moves that people have, the unique fighting styles. The only thing that I dislike is that some of the characters are basically skins. You know? Like, you have the old Luffy and the new Luffy. It's not a good look. Like, I understand. Well, let me not say skins. When I say that, because that's for the DLC, which I'll get into in a second. When I say duplicate characters, the Luffy is kinda sorta different, but still the same, you know? Like, it's almost basically a reskin. Because the moves do the same thing. The awakenings are the only thing that are fundamentally different. Like the current Luffy's awakening, the freaking fourth gear. That is extremely different from anything else in the game. Like, some characters just have awakening boost. Some transform with awakenings. And goodness, it makes for a completely fundamentally different game when you have those. I just wish that all the characters, you know, like, would have differences in their awakenings. Like, take for example, Ace, because I play with Ace a lot. When you go into awakening with Ace, his moves are still going to be the same. And there's nothing special about being in his awakening mode that would prompt you to use it unless you're going to use the ultimate. Because everybody has unique ultimates in their awakening mode, but there's like no point to using his awakening unless you like have an assist that's going to make the awakening more powerful. Like you're going to have more attack, more defense, or something like that. Otherwise, some characters, there's no point in awakening until you're ready to do your super. And that's something that I wish was different. Like maybe for the Logia types, when they awaken, you know, they have a shorter awakening time, but during that awakening, they could unlimitedly, you know, goodness, unlimitedly, they could have unlimited use of their abilities, you know, like Ace can freaking turn into fire and you can punch through him. But that's not happening. I mean, I understand why, because, you know, that means you go right into awakening and you could freaking win the fight. You know what I mean? Because people wouldn't be able to punch you. But if the awakening was shortened, because awakening doesn't stay that long. If you shortened it for those type of characters, it would be an awesome feature. But they're just plain. The battle system in this game, it's decent. Like, I would like more mobility with it, because when you get locked down, it's hard to, you know, get out of it with that, what they call a flash counter. It's really rough to do that and get out of being locked in a combo. And I just wish that were different. Also, some characters have way higher mobility than others. Speaking of which, Ace. I keep bringing up Ace because he's the character I use the most, and the main reason is because of his mobility. If you activate someone's special ability, or whatever their R1 style is, whether that be a Devil Fruit or Hockey, it will allow you to do different things. Like with Ace, he does a fire dash across the whole stage and lands behind the opponent. That's probably the most useful thing in the game as far as mobility goes. That's why I would never play on a team without Ace, because Ace can get you in. You can switch out characters later, you know, once you're over there. But as far as getting close to your opponent, Ace does it in no time. But some characters don't have that type of movement. They cannot, you know, get very far with their abilities, and it's pretty sad that there isn't like a universal dash for characters, or that they would make some characters better because they can't move up there that quick, It's little weird things like that that make the combat not as good as it could be. But it's still great. And the looks of the game looks wonderful. Goodness, it looks amazing. And I'm not just saying that because I have the DLC with Robin in a swimsuit. That is not the reason why I think it's amazing. Although that is amazing. Just the style of art, as well as the movement of the characters, it's all extremely fluid. And as far as just battle system goes, this game would get at least an 8 out of 10 just on battle system. But because we're rating it as a game, and as a game, it is fundamentally flawed. Because unless you're just the type of person who can sit here and just fight after fight for no reason, this game will not hold your interest long. Even if you're a One Piece fan, because I'm a casual One Piece fan. Every once in a while, I check in on it. I like the characters, I just don't like how long the story is. So every once in a while, I'll go in and see what I missed. But it doesn't have enough to keep you wanting to play it. So unless you're actually like playing with friends or something, I would suggest you don't buy it at full price. Or maybe you could just rent it or something like that, Because, goodness, I don't think it's worth the price of admission. Like $60 for a game with a very short story mode that just recovers the same thing over and over. And a couple of different modes where you're still just basically fighting for no reason. It's not like they're giving you a point to your battles. Just playing the game and having battles is all you're doing here. And with that said, I would have to give this game, goodness, I'm going to go on the 5 scale and say it would be 2.5. I like the combat. I just don't like the lack of stuff you can do in it. Also, if the online would match me up properly, that would knock it up to at least a 3. But for One Piece fans, it's a great thing to check out. I wouldn't suggest buying it though. At least not yet. Wait till PlayStation has like a sale or something. Because they always do. They'll have a sale on different types of anime fighters and stuff. It always happens. Wait till that happens. Pick it up cheaper. And then have at it. My goodness, this is long. It was supposed to be a quick review, but I got into talking about the mechanics a little too much. Oh, and also on the DLC. For anybody that did buy the game and is thinking about getting the DLC, only buy the DLC with the strong characters in it. Like, and I don't mean the characters that are actually, great characters. I mean, it'll have a strong style Ace in it and a strong Shanks in it. You get that pack because those characters have different movesets. The rest of the DLC is only skins. And unless you like staring at Robin's butt like I do, there's no point to getting the extra skins. Because it's a fighting game. When you're in a fight, it's kind of hard to look at your own character and be amazed. Unless it's Robin. Like, no joke, I'm not playing. Robin's moveset, when she does an attack, it zooms in on her butt. So it's worthwhile with that DLC only. The rest, you're not really paying that much attention to it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this game. I would give it a 2.5. If the if the online worked properly, it'd get a 3. And if that pirate flag battle mode actually had used to playing it, it would crank up to a 4. Most of my criticisms with this game is that it does not have enough content. It's that simple. Sorry to say, but that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you guys next time. Also, hopefully next time I do a review, it won't be this freaking long. I'm sorry about that. I just really got deep into it. Goodness, deep into it. See you guys later.